Hey boys, Money here. So today I'm going to make a discussion video. Like it's going to be just me talking about what I think will happen in chapter 173 and basically in the next arc, what I think will happen in the next arc. I have the chapter open in front of me, so yeah, but you won't see it because I don't want to be an asshole and upload the chapter 2 times. Like it's enough that it's on my reaction video. So yeah, this is basically me talking, and I know I promised that the Captain Connor video would be up by Saturday, but I had some personal issues and I think it will be up before the next chapter comes out. So anyways, let's get into this, and I'm sorry if this doesn't flow as well because I don't have a script for this video. I just want to talk about what I think will happen, and yeah, basically anyways, let's get into it. So the next arc is going to be on the planet Lindard, and this planet is presented as a mechanical planet, like it's an entire factory. This planet is an entire factory. It produces androids and robots like on a daily basis, not on a daily basis, like constantly. They are constantly producing androids and robots, and from what we've been told and what's been hinted, it seems like every cycle the androids and the bots that are being produced are being upgraded. Like every cycle the android is better from or it's better from what that Bergendine Mark II is saying, that one day this planet may even produce machines that surpass even us. So this planet is constantly evolving, like it's constantly upgrading itself, it's constantly upgrading its products, it's constantly upgrading its droids. So this planet is very, very dangerous, and in this arc basically we'll have an actual like three-party war, like the Aoi Cosmos arc, but on a much smaller scale. It will be like a micro Aoi space arc. Like we have Elsie going there right now as we speak, and I think she will arrive there before Shiki. And we got the Eden Zero crew going there, and they want some of that Ziggy ass. And we have Ziggy and his own Dark Star and forces. So, and I think the Interstellar army will step in as well. So this arc is basically a free-for-all, except that I think that when Elsie comes in, she will come first, and we'll follow her point of view first if Hero decides to do that. Because Elsie in this chapter, when she said that she's going there right now, her face, like she looked determined to do something. Like she seemed like menacing. She had that look in her eyes, like I'm gonna fuck someone up or I'm going to die doing so. That's that's what the look in her face tells me. So yeah, I think the first thing that's going to happen, or at the beginning of this battle or this arc, I think we'll follow Elsie's point of view, and we'll see her battle or infiltrate this planet to the point where she gets to Ziggy, and she might even have a fight with Ziggy, but eventually she will lose. And then that is when Shiki and the Eden's crew come into play. Like they come into the battle and they come into the planet. They come in when the odds look way against Elsie, and they come in to help her, and that is when the tides of the battle will change. That's what my gut is telling me. Like, Elsie is going to have the first blood in this war, but she might even die. But I'm not worried about her dying. I think that she might suffer some losses, and I think it's a good opportunity to for Hero to show us her crew. Like, I think he'll show us that person. I forgot his name. He's the firefighter. I think that's a good opportunity to show us his ability even more, expand on it, and to show us that doctor, the one that uses a frost as an ether gear. It's a good opportunity to show us his ability. It's a good opportunity to expand on her entire crew, to see what the strategy is like, what the relationship is like, what the how her crew operates. Basically, it's a good opportunity to showcase all of this at once. So yeah, I think this is one thing that is going to happen. So obviously, I think it's obvious, not obvious. I think it's obvious. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to argue. I think this is not the arc to settle Ziggy's storyline. I think this is the arc to expand on the Ziggy storyline and to showcase to us why Ziggy is important, why we should be afraid of Ziggy. We might get a hint on who Ziggy is exactly. Like, we might even get a hint to that, because the theory that Ziggy is still shaky, it's still there, it's still up there, it's still very, very, very attractive to anyone that is having questions about Ziggy's identity. And I think this arc will give us not an answer, but a hint and even more questions. Like, this is not the arc to give us answers, it's the arc to give us even more questions, to get us invested into Ziggy. Because Ziggy right now, he's just a phantom, he's just an avatar, he's just a menace. Like, he's in the background always, like, doing some stuff. We do not actually know who he is, or what he's going to do, or what even is his motive. Like, we don't even know that. This is the arc to get us, the readers, invested into Ziggy's storyline. And I think someone will die in this arc, like, no doubt, like, someone will die, but it's not from our crew, it's not from the main crew. I think Elsie will suffer a loss. Either it's one of her lieutenants. I think those are her lieutenants. Like, I hate to say this, like, it's even giving me some chemical reaction, even me trying to say this. That not so looking guy and gray seeming guy, like, obviously those two guys were based around Natsu and Gray, like, no doubt about that. I'm not going even to front, but I hate to say when I compare Eden Zero to Fairy Tail. I only do that when I'm making a point that Eden Zero is way better than Fairy Tail. So yeah, I think it's either one of the lieutenants, or maybe her entire crew gets eradicated or annihilated or something, or Elsie will suffer a loss. She will get vindictive after this arc for Ziggy. Like, she wants to kill Ziggy after this arc. Right now, she does not want to kill Ziggy. She just wants to stop him. This is the arc to showcase to us, like, Ziggy is not the same Ziggy we know. And this Ziggy, we should not aim to stop him. We should not aim to stop his evil deed. Or his evil deeds, should I say, because it's more than one. This motherfucker is going around polluting planets, overtaking some, making slavery. Basically, he's enslaving humans, killing humans. Like, the people don't seem to understand how fucking dark what happened in Foresta really is. That shit was messed up. Like, a lot of people died, a lot of people got enslaved and then died. Like, there was no salvation for the people in that planet. Like, all of them are mostly dead, or they escaped, or they have some trauma right now because Ziggy decided, let's just try to experiment on this planet. Like, Ziggy should not be stopped, or the line of thinking of Elsie and Shiki should not be, we should be stopping Ziggy. Their line of thinking or their goal is, we should be killing Ziggy. Like, if you are not going at him with the intention of killing, he might kill you. Like, that motherfucker is crazy. He's powerful. We saw him with the fight against Jaguar and Nero, and I think he's no joke. And this arc is going to show us just how intimidating Ziggy is, because Hero is setting him up to be the main villain of the story. Although I hate to say the main villain of the story, I like this story when it had no villains. Like, it actually has some villains, but they are existing in their own planets or in their own ecosystem. Like, they don't interfere with others. Like, just like Draken Joe, he didn't go out of his way to kill Shiki or anything. It just so happened that Shiki had cat labor, and so he targeted him. That's it. Nero didn't even know Shiki. Like, he was saying at the end of this at the end of the Oi Cosmos arc, like, who are you? He didn't even meet Ziggy and or Shiki. That is what I liked about Eden Zero. So I'm kind of conflicted to see a main villain come into play like Ziggy. Like, we have now a main villain to defeat, but this could show us something. Like, Hero obviously has some he planned this. Like, Eden Zero is a planned work. Like, it's unlike Fairy Tail. This is planned. Like, the entire story is planned from start to finish. Not exactly all of it is planned. The in-betweens are not planned, but the destination from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and so on, it is planned. The destination is planned. The in-betweens are not planned yet. So I'm kind of excited to see where this story is going to go, and how Ziggy will really carry himself as the main villain of this story. I think this is the arc that will make Eden Zero like a mainstay. Like, right now it is a mainstay. This is almost an objective opinion, because I read all of the shonen right now. I read a lot of the works that are going on in Shonen Jump. I read a lot of the works that are ongoing on Shonen Sunday. I read a lot of the works on the Shonen magazine. So Eden Zero is almost objectively, this is me objectively speaking, not as a preference of my own. This is almost objective. Eden Zero is the best shonen right now. Like, it's the best shonen serializing right now. It's not because I make videos on it. It's not because I read it and I love it. No, this is an objective fact. Eden Zero is the best shonen right now because Hero is taking this very seriously. He doesn't care about the sales. He obviously doesn't care about the sales. The sales are okay. Like, I always say, and when I always make some comments on the subreddit, people misunderstand me. The sales are very stable and they are okay. Like, they are not that big, but they are okay. But when you hear the name Hiro Mashima, you think like 200,000, 300,000 per volume is the norm for him. Like, and to see it is zero, not even scratch that, to it's basically doing 50,000 volumes sold per, holy shit, 50,000 volumes per fucking volume. So yeah, to see that, obviously Hiro doesn't care. And from what I've been told, there was an interview where he was basically saying, I know that science fiction is not that big and it will not sell. So he's basically just creating his finest work. And I said it before, like, Hiro is creating his magnum opus. Like, it's obvious from his approach to how he handles the characters, how he handles the storylines, how he handles the consequences. Consequences were not existent in Fairy Tail. Like, when you hear a consequence in Fairy Tail, you only hear it when a power is used, and then the consequence is gone. Like, oh, don't worry about it, the consequence is gone. Like, after some this and that and some bullshit power up, the consequence is gone. There's no after effects, there's no price to be paid to have that kind of power, or to change that storyline, or to avert that destiny. But here everything is calculated. This feels like real life, how devastating the story is and how cruel the story is. It feels like real life. There is no do-overs, there's no second chances. Obviously there's second chances with Rebecca, but Rebecca will suffer the emotional trauma, the psychological trauma. And I think just the way Hiro has handled Rebecca with this power should be recognized as something like incredible. Like, Rebecca's character and how she handles the power and how he handled her power is something that is incredible. Like, no one is even recognizing how extremely extraordinary this is. Like, this power is can easily fuck up the story. Like, I made a video and I said that Rebecca could make or break Eren Zero because her power can fuck up the story. Like, it can easily fuck up the story. In the Always Cosmos arc, Hiro could have easily said, oh, let's use the Cat Leaper power and fuck up everything. Like, all of the emotional impacts, the emotional connections that we had with those scenes, the pages, the chapters, they are all gone. But he didn't do that because the power has some limitations, and Rebecca has some limitations, and those limitations are actually what made Rebecca the best female character right now for me, if not the best character right now for me. And I think this is this is a point that I wanted to make in this video. I think we should be afraid or cautious, or even we should expect something related to Cat Leaper in the coming chapters, because Hiro has decided now of all times to explain how Cat Leaper works and what are the side effects of it and what are the resultant universes and world lines of using the Cat Leaper are. Like, he chose this time out of all times to explain it. So I think it will play a big part in the coming arc, or in the upcoming arcs. This coming arc, it could only be like a 10 to 15 chapters, like how Foresta was or how Red Cave was. Like, it could be how Red Cave was, or it could be even how the 98 to 104 chapters were, like when we encountered Ziggy and the whole Dark Stars and whatnot. Anyways, this is my whole take on what is going to happen in the future of Eren Zero, or in the upcoming arc, and what I expect and what I don't expect, and what I feel about everything. Basically, I didn't want to dive deep into the whole universes and the storyline and the multiverse and everything, because I think I understood it. I read this chapter multiple times by now, and I think I understand everything that Hero is trying to tell us by explaining this right now. And I think I understood the whole gist of the power and everything that is that will result as a consequence of using cat labor. But just because you understand something does not mean that you can explain it well. Like, I understand it, but I still cannot know, or I still don't know how to explain it. Like, I will spend some time on it, and if I think I can explain it in a really simple way and a fun way, I will make a video on it. Otherwise, I will just leave it to the guys on the subreddit, because I think they do some incredible job by explaining some things. Like, yeah. So that's basically it. If you like the video, give me a like. If you dislike the video, give it a dislike. That's totally cool. And yeah, that's basically it. This has been Moni, and bye.